Rebecca Minkoff. Rebecca Minkoff's in a cult. Now, because I don't actually watch The Real Housewives of New York, I was not aware that Rebecca Minkoff was actually being open about being a Scientologist. I thought she was doing one of these cute little things where she pretends like it was just her parents' thing and it was never something that she was involved in. When I went down this little rabbit hole this afternoon, I was surprised to find out that she does actually admit that she's a Scientologist. I've known Rebecca since I was a teenager, not very well, just in the same social circle. But I do know Rebecca's family quite well. I know her father, I know her mother, I know her two brothers better than I know her. However, what Rebecca has done is one of these things that Scientology asks its celebrities to do, which is to pretend that you're not just a Scientologist. You're also a Christian or a Jew or a Muslim or a Hindu or whatever. And I'm going to share with you like a 4-minute clip, where Rebecca says something like this. And here we go. I'm going to stop it to make some comments here, but here we go.
Can I ask you a personal question?
Yeah.
How, like, does it work for you? Just because I know we always talk about being Jewish, but how does it work being Jewish and a Scientologist?
Yeah. So being Jewish is my religion, obviously. And then the other one is really an applied philosophy that, like, when it gets rough, that's where I can get tools to help me with communication, with the stress of life, like dealing with kids, a business.
But I guess it's not really a religion.
It is amazing to see a Scientologist, while even in the process of pretending to be Jewish, which, by the way, there are Jewish Scientologists, but they're ethnically or culturally Jewish. They do not practice Judaism. In the 30 years I was in Scientology, there's two types of Scientologists, ones who celebrate Christmas and ones who celebrate Hanukkah. And no matter which one of those categories you're in, you're only celebrating the holiday for the celebration of the holiday, not for the religious meaning of it. There is no such thing as a practicing Jew who is also a Scientologist. There is no such thing as a practicing Christian who's also a Scientologist. You would actually get in trouble for doing that, speaking from, firsthand knowledge on that. But it is interesting to see a Scientologist in the process of pretending to be Jewish actually describe Scientology in a way that's not a religion. How does it work being both a Jewish and a Scientologist? Well, being Jewish is my religion, and Scientology is this other thing. I feel like the IRS would like to have a conversation with you, Rebecca, to truly understand what Scientology really is. All right, let's keep going.
It is in the fact that everyone hears the word religion and they're like, God, worship, right? But there's also anything spiritual in nature.
Yeah.
So you could go as far as to say that going to Soul Cycle is a spiritual experience for you, right?
Okay. Did this lifelong Scientologist just compare Scientology and its religious nature or religious quality to something like a gym, Soul Cycle? It's a spiritual experience. Even Scientologists don't truly believe that Scientology is a religion.
I'm not that into Soul Cycle.
I'm not either, but I'm just making, you know, so like there's no worship or prayer. It's like tools to help you.
Right.
And that's kind of it. I think that it's unfortunate that there are a lot of stereotypes out there that are people who don't have the right information, are working with inadequate data. And I would just ask people to go check it out for yourself, whether it is reading a book, going online, watching the TV station about it.
Okay, I gotta jump in. Why is it that you can find a ton of former Scientologists on YouTube talking about Scientology, talking about their experience, explaining aspects of Scientology, but you won't find a single current active Scientologist doing that, engaging with the internet in real time, long form, live? Okay. The answer is that Scientologists aren't allowed to. It's always so ironic to see Scientologists encourage you to go find out for yourself, but don't pay attention to all that hateful information on the internet. Why aren't Scientologists putting out the true information on the internet? Scientology knows that if it cannot very, very carefully and closely control the narrative, it will be game over for Scientology. So does Scientology have a YouTube channel? Yes. Are there a ton of videos on there? Yes. Do they actually explain in an honest way what Scientology is? No, of course not. And Scientology knows that the videos don't really honestly explain it, which is why they sure as hell don't want Scientologists on the internet, especially live, especially long form, being confronted about things about Scientology in a way where they have to be honest. Scientology doesn't want Scientologists to be honest. And that's why you'll find 20 people like me on YouTube, but you'll find 0 people like Rebecca on YouTube. Here we go.
When you say, like, go read a book, obviously, like, in my mind, the first book that comes to mind is Going Clear.
Don't read that book. When I was born, my parents were just finding out about it, but it was
really?
Yeah, but it was my choice. When I was around 18, that's when I felt like, oh, this is something I need to deal with, the insanity of life. So it's been great for me.
I have so much respect for her that I would never want to insult her belief system. That being said, it's very hard for me to understand.
What have you heard about Scientology?
I know too much. I wish I knew less.
All right.
I honestly can't believe Scientology has allowed Rebecca to be on a reality TV show. But I mean, as you can see, even being thrown into the wolves, thrown into the lion's den on something like a reality TV show like Real Housewives of New York, it's been pretty tame on the Scientology stuff. But again, just absolute nonsense. A Scientologist explaining Scientology in a way where she hasn't actually explained a damn thing about Scientology. You might as well be going to a Tony Robbins seminar or something like that. Now, if you want an excellent explanation about Scientology, watch my interview with Lex Friedman. Yeah, you'll get all the information a Scientologist will never be willing to share.
Okay, if you want to see my rock and roll songs, click right on this guitar. And if you want to see a different one of my videos, then you could click right inside here. If you have subscribed or not, subscribe right here. Bye.